Well, hello, a surprise viewing today. There was I chilling out, getting ready for something else, and then suddenly, ta-da, this comes up. So, without further ado, I'm going to get our expert panelist on. You know what you're talking about, Ryan, when it comes to all this. So,
That's debatable. That's debatable.
so I'll just introduce it to everybody first of all. So of course, just this morning it landed. It's a character options online exclusive. The Third Doctor and Sonic in scale, but then a large scale Sonic. Green Death Maggots, Kronos, the whole blooming lot there. I'll give you the price and all the details, and we'll go through the model, so to speak. But there you go. There's the package. There's the advert today. Third Doctor and Sonic Screwdriver, the Vortex Edition figure, and electroplated electronic Sonic. 4 sound effects, new body decoration, brand new head sculpt. That's, yeah. Now, what they did, character options, is I said, we're excited to announce that alongside BBC Studios, the first of 5 exclusive Doctor Who sets planned for 2025 is this one. And then they say the same thing again. So 5 sets we've got to look forward to this year. Now, I'll give the details and then I'll get Ryan's take on it as well as give my own. So here we go. We've got the brand new Third Doctor figure, the Sonic Screwdriver. The figure now features an entirely new head sculpt based on his early appearances around 71. The figure is decorated in the costumes specifically seen in the Demons. It makes use of the new higher specification decoration techniques on the head, as well as a greater degree of detailing on the jacket and paisley cravat. And then, of course, you've got the Crystal of Kronos and a giant maggot. And I'll come back to this in a moment, but basically you've got the electronic Sonic Screwdriver, bright electroplating, a new different sound chip, blah, blah, blah. So, Ryan, is it ordered?
Oh yeah, it was a complete surprise to me before because I wasn't on Facebook and you had messaged me going, "Have you seen this?" I'm like, "I have now," and yeah, I jumped on immediately and ordered it.
Yeah, well, exactly. Now you're a bit more. You weren't necessarily going to buy anything that comes out. So what has grabbed you about this?
Um, the thing is, well, all this new information now is about 5 new exclusive sets. I'm sitting here praying that the next one is a season 18 Fourth Doctor. Please. But for this one specifically, the thing that grabbed me about it is that new head sculpt. But
Yeah,
the figure overall, even though it gives you all the information, though this is from this and this is from that, I'm sort of seeing this as, in a way, Third Doctor greatest hits. Like, personally, this might just be me. That new head sculpt is more like a season 7
yeah,
look rather than later appearances. That looks more season 7 to me with the sort of shorter hair. The hair is not as sticky uppy. But the outfit is obviously more season 8. So and then you got the maggot from the Green Death, and I think it's sort of an amalgamation of the Third Doctor's greatest hits of all the bits and pieces that you're getting and stuff, and the choice of head and the choice of outfit. Uh, but yeah, it looks like a really, really nice head sculpt. But I think I may do a bit of jiggery pokery with it, maybe to do a season 7 custom, possibly.
so this is what they've said so far. New head sculpt, which Ryan's been talking about in detail there. Yeah, there's all your details about the battery for the Sonic Screwdriver. As you can see in the pack, if I go bigger, of course, you can see there's the large Sonic Screwdriver there, classic Pertwee era, and then he is holding a very small one too, so you get 2. Now, if I take you through a bit more detail on the Sonics next, there you go. That's the actual large Sonic that will have different sound levels and all the rest of it. It's just classic Pertwee, isn't it? That yellow and black is very distinctive. And then you get a much smaller one with the giant maggot and the Kronos crystal. So yeah, all these bits and bobs are great. I mean, oh god, I can use that maggot with the hoopets. I can use that maggot, my god. But oh god, you see, like you said, I think you're quite right. It is the greatest hits, isn't it? It's like, and you know what? This has got me. This is character options getting back on track. they've had to take the hit of season one, I'm reckoning, and they've had to think, oh, how the hell do we do this? And they've had a rethink, I'm sure. And they've managed now to go, right, we're going to do 5 specials this year. And as you say, you're already hoping for season 18, Tom Baker. And this is what I mean. I mean, you can imagine if you said something like the season 18, we'll go back a bit further. Can we have the key to time as well? And can we have all those bits and bobs?
I think the next logical step would definitely be a season 18 Tom Baker, because people have been crying out for that, because it's only been released twice. Definitely once, because I know they definitely done it in the sort of the big exclusive pack that they done with like the 12 Doctors. It was in there. And I think it might have had a single carded release at some point as well. But it's quite rare to get these days, unless you want to actually pay for it. So I think that would be the logical step. Update some of the paint apps and stuff. That would be quite nice. And
yeah, I mean, as people know, I started these sets late, and so when I think, oh, a classic Pertwee, whoa. So just to take you through again various things, and then I'll add a bit. I mean, that's like you say, key costume, great head sculpt, all movable feast. There he is with his Sonic. You see, I remember, when I got the Tom Baker doll basically in the 70s, and he had his Sonic. Just iconic stuff. Yeah, he does look very early Pertwee, doesn't he? Classic early Pertwee. He looks like almost calmer. The hair's flatter, isn't it, in the early days?
yeah, no, actually, the more I'm sitting looking at it, the more I'm sitting here like, I kind of wish they all just went all in on doing a season 7 one, especially since it has just came out on Blu-ray. That would have made a hell of a lot of sense just to go full season 7 with it. But that's just my opinion.
That's what I seem to think is the issue here. I think they've had a rethink. They're going for the greatest hits of Pertwee almost. I'm very grateful for that. It also shows me that they're actually disconnecting from the show, because, as you say, the classic season 7 has been a sellout, much more
Yep.
than season 1 recently. And it brings to mind this, which is RTD, as you know, the current showrunner said that the Doctor's trusty sonic screwdriver has been redesigned to resemble a remote control or flip phone with Shooty, as you know, because they don't want to give kids a bad influence, which is why I then suddenly started showing Lethal Weapon, the Sea Devils Get It, or Lethal Weapon, the Sonic Scrap Heap. What a load of nonsense he did. I mean, you look at that strange device there, and and you think of the range of Sonics we've had over the years, and you think, clearly, character options have had a think and gone, right, we're not going to replicate everything in the program because they're not selling. And isn't it funny that the showrunner, the person who's supposed to be the custodian of Doctor Who, has actually decided to go away from that type of sonic screwdriver model, and yet they've now made a set with the sonic screwdriver classic model? Is it something that the character options, the merchandisers, the retailers know more than the showrunner about what works?
Well, I never understood. As soon as he said that about, oh, the sonic screwdriver's too much like a gun, like I really didn't understand that at all. That's yet again another item to put on the list of stupid things that RTD has said. The whole point of the sonic screwdriver is it's not a gun.
Yeah.
The doctor, that is the whole point of it. That the fact that it's not a gun. And how does that look like a gun? How does it look? It doesn't look anything like a gun. If it had a trigger, you sit and go bing bing. No, it is ridiculous. And if you want to talk about overuse of a sonic, well, that's technically he started that. The whole overuse of a sonic. So if anyone is to blame of pointing the sonic around every 5 minutes like that, it's him. Yet again, complaining about problems that he himself created. But there we go.
And as Sir C says, does anyone even buy New Who merchandise? But this is it. There's the usual, Earth Flat Mob, who will have got the shooty,
Yeah, it's sold
strange
out. The thing is,
sexual
it has
contraption.
sold out, but the thing is, how many did they actually make? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, I agree. And of course, these really will. I mean, we've both ordered this already because we know, John Pertwee is. I have to say, if John Pertwee was around now, I think they'd get him back into the series because I think he's the wave. You can tell he is the Doctor, and everybody's tapping back into that with the season sevens. With War Games in color, they did what they should have done since they were. Well, I didn't want a regeneration, but they made sure it was Pertwee. So there seems to be a Pertwee renaissance coming, and
Well, the thing is,
character.
like Pertwee, I would say that Pertwee's always been up there. Like,
Yeah,
like I think mainly if you're going to talk, like the majority of the time, if you talk about classic Doctors, usually Pertwee is at the very top of that list, if not second, third of people's lists. But he's such a fantastic actor in that role. Like, he done it for 5 years. He's very much, I think, maybe even more so than any other Doctor. As soon as he walks into a room, he commands that room.
yeah, yeah.
Like he owns the room, and that's what the Doctor should be. Like as soon as he walks in, you go, this is the guy, this is the man. And I think John just done that so brilliantly and so wonderfully. Like, even though he's obviously done other things, but I think he always will be very much remembered for Doctor Who.
If you had the choice, because Geraint Williams, who might join us later, Geraint Williams has said there was another earlier model, and he's not too sure if this is a good competition for it. So when you look at the range of the looks that the John Pertwee Doctor had, you said earlier the greatest hits, but what would your choice of costume been? I know you kind of said let's tap into season 7, I suppose, really, that more black cape.
Yeah, I probably would have went like basically the whole black. That's probably what I would have done, just simply because I don't have it. I don't have it with the cape and stuff. I don't actually have that specific figure from season 7, so that's probably what I would have went with. But if you wanted to make a lot of money off nerds like us, do a very limited online release of a Bessie, but to go with this figure.
Oh yes, yes, yes.
It'll never happen. It will never happen. Would cost far too much to make, but I could just always 3D print one. So.
Well, while people are watching, I can see Problem Beans just ordered. Steve Zace has just ordered. So we're giving a heads up to people. So let's just be very clear. It's £44.99. It is online now. It says it does say limited edition as well, doesn't it? And you can see there you get the full size sonic screwdriver of the John Pertwee Doctor, and you also get the smaller version with the maggot, with the crystal of Kronos, different sound levels and all the rest of it. So just to remind you again, and just see if you want to pick out anything else, Ryan, here that we haven't picked up on fully yet. You've got your Sonic there, though, haven't you?
I've got my original one here. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have to say, I kind of like the new one with the chrome, especially around this lip part and everything. That's going to be really, really, really nice to see. They do seem to be going all in now with the whole chrome Sonics, because they obviously started with the 60th anniversary one. They really went all in with the whole chrome thing. But I'm actually really looking forward to getting it. But what I will say, though, that is definitely put in there to justify the price of $44.99, because it is a little bit steep for a single figure.
The prices are moving up. I saw some of the responses early doors, and I do think they've balanced it up a little bit here, which is, yes, you've got a Sonic that works, a full-size Sonic, and then you've got this new recast. I reckon the model makers were toying with this, which is if you just released a new head model John Pertwee, even though it's John Pertwee, would that really sell and shoot out the door? Is it enough in demand? But to then add the Sonic, do you reckon there's a bit of a little bit of retail
Yeah, no, they've
Yeah, yeah,
definitely have had to do that. Even at the fact they have now updated the paint apps on the Sonic, that's very much an intentional move. Just like, we need something in there with them. Considering for £45 a couple of years ago, we were able to get a free pack of the Silurians. You know, they they had to do something, and obviously they put in a couple of little extra bits in there. Obviously, they have had the molds lying around for the maggots, so they went, you know what? Okay, we'll make a few more of those and put those in with it. We'll adjust the paint apps on the Sonic and put that in. I think they are trying their very best to sort of go, look, we're trying to give you your money's worth for £45. I think they are very much aware, that £45 is probably quite a lot for this figure. So I think they are trying their best.
yeah.
To sort of go, okay, we're going to justify the price. We're giving you an extra of this. We're giving you this. We're giving you this.
Well, you've got Captain Have Fun here. He wants a few. I can make a cape. Making toy capes is easy. I mean, it's fascinating, isn't it? What people can do out there, what people are skilled at. I mean, you are, and that's why I got you on. But I have no clue. I'm that glutton who just buys and orders.
The thing I would have said now, something I think that really would have sold well, a season 7 John Pertwee, full season 7 John Pertwee with a Liz Shaw.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, you've got the old Brigadier, as in the earlier, or you've got the idea of they've done the Autons a lot, but have the Autons been done well enough?
I would say so. Like, I've got a few of them there. I think that well, that's it. You could always maybe do like a Terror of the Autons version because they are different, you know. But yet again, I don't know. There's so many things you could do with that era. And to be fair, back in the day, they've done a lot of John Pertwee era figures.
Yeah.
Which I would know what to do. All character. This is all character have to do, right? All they need to do is re-release everything that they had coming out round about 2007 to 2010, 11. All those classic series sets that are like stupid money now.
Yeah.
Like Revenge of the Cybermen, like that free pack.
Yeah.
Like that is a perfect example. And you know what? Just re-release the stuff that you season 18 Tom Baker. If they want to make money, that's what they have to do. Just re-release classic stuff because that's what people want.
And this is the very interesting moment, isn't it? Season 2 is about to come back, and it's very interesting that we've had a Blu-ray release that has gone down very well, season 7, and then you've got this that's just landed today. And as you've said, I mean, it says, I'll just repeat, we are excited to announce that alongside BBC Studios, the first of 5 exclusive Doctor Who sets. Now, I don't think they normally do 5 in a year, do they, of exclusive online. Last year it was the Mavellan one.
Yeah, like exclusive online. Maybe I see it is interesting the way that they've worded that exclusive Doctor Who sets. They've never done 5 in 1 year. No, usually we're lucky if we maybe get 1 a year, or maybe you get like a figure and then maybe exclusive Sonic that we've had the last couple of years.
Yeah.
But no, we've never had 5 in 1 year, which is telling me, are we now starting to maybe move away from exclusively B&M releases? We don't know, because I have noticed, and maybe this is just me, like I am very much that guy that will go in every time B&M brings out a new set.
Yeah.
And like especially the TARDIS and the Dalek sets.
Yeah.
And I will buy them, possibly multiple sometimes, depending on what they bring out. But even I have to admit, I do think the general overall consumer is, like, even nerds like me, they're getting a bit sick of just buying History of the Dalek sets. Like someone that, like, especially 60s Daleks, we have had release upon release upon release of 60s Daleks. We don't need any more of those.
We see, but you see, this is it. The character options have hit an interesting moment because their History of the Daleks has got up to New Who now, hasn't it?
Yes.
And so yes, again, the classic sells, and they've thought, oh, hold on a minute here, we're going to hit a lot of bronze Daleks now and Jelly Baby Daleks. And I'm very intrigued. What does everybody in the thread think? What do you want from these 5 exclusive sets? A couple of years ago, they did that Power of the Doctor one when it was a bit of a blancmange mishmash, you know, all the outfit of between Jodie and remember that one? That was
Yeah.
a special. The Mavellans one, I remember that one. Yes, there's a few Sonic ones, but because they've started with this John Pertwee one, you get this impression. I hope, like you say, a Tom Baker one, maybe a Peter Davison one. Are there anything else left to do with William Hartnell and Patrick Troughton?
The thing is, like, there's so many alterations. Like, if this makes sense, updating the head sculpt for John Pertwee, doing more season 7, that makes sense. Doing the season 18 Tom Baker would make sense. But I don't know for 5, 6, and 7. I don't know. I don't think they're going to be doctors necessarily. Maybe. Something's telling me they won't be doctors.
Really? That way, isn't it funny? What does everyone think in the thread? Because I thought, oh, they're going. I mean, there's too many classic Doctors. If it's 5 releases, you've got 7. But I just, yeah, I just want, unless they do a kind of a season highlight, you know, like I said, Key to Time, just off the top of my head, a Monsters season from Troughton or something like that. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Now I've got a few little comments here. Let's just pick them up. So John Yulden. Hello. This speaks to them attempting to rebuild the brand. More will come out over the next few years. They know they have tanked the brand and will be trying to build it up. I think it's the same with us streamers. We know that if Doctor Who just disappears, we need to be ready to survive and talk about other stuff because, and I think the retailers, the merchandisers are all aware what sells. How far are we going to commit this year and next year to just new Who stuff when actually everybody is more on the nostalgia front? So I think wise decision. Let's have a look what else says. We've got Steve here. Either the new head sculpts for Doctors or new figures, never released characters. Yeah, he's trying to think through what's going to be done. I mean, it. Like I said, I'm just trying to catch up. But with you're saying that it was that head sculpt that grabbed you. So you need
Yeah.
it's something. But even then, would you buy just on a new head sculpt for, say, Troughton? You want a bit more with it, don't you, I suppose?
Yeah, but like specifically because there is like the thing is, it's quite funny with the likes of Patrick Troughton. He looks the exact same the entire way through his year, where there's a very distinctive change with John Pertwee's sort of season 7, season 8, and then later seasons. If anything, you could actually compare it to Capaldi. Actually, the hair just keeps sort of getting bigger as the years go on. That's what really, because we don't have a season 7 head sculpt as far as I'm aware. They're all pretty much the same head and all of the John Pertwee figures that we've had up till now. So that was what really grabbed me about this set personally, just because it is that sort of earlier look that we don't have.
Yeah. Well, like you said, it's the head sculpt and it's also the different chrome effect on the Sonic that's been updated.
I do like that. I do think that is very sexy, if I do say so myself. And I always love, specifically that Sonic, I always love the fact that actually made its first ever cameo appearance before it was ever a Sonic Screwdriver in Thunderbirds. So there we go.
I mean, do you know what? I'm a glutton for this. I haven't got the John Pertwee Sonic in any form at all, so I really knew I had to grab this. But I have to say, I'm a glutton for the little things as well. That maggot has just got me because I haven't got anything from earlier. Like I said, I was away in Australia when a lot of these sales were going on. And you know, to me, that Sonic takes me to the Sea Devils. I know it, you know, and that's that to me. It's that iconic shot with well, he's on a scrap heap. There he is. It just reminds me, and yet look at the Sonic's different there, but it just reminds me of that. It's just like, wow.
Well, what I would say, like back whenever I used to do YouTube reviews and stuff of Doctor Who stuff, and then whenever a character brings stuff out, I would be very critical. I try to be a bit more positive these days because now I sort of have more of an awareness of how the toy manufacturing
Yeah.
actually happens. Where back then I was very much like, oh, it's crap or it's good. But character options have had a history of either getting it very, very right or very, very wrong.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would count this as a win. I think I know what I feel like they've actually went, you know what, give the people what they want. They've tried to do something that actually will appease the fan base. I think they've done a really nice job of this.
Isn't it fascinating that the merchandisers, because it's all about profit margins and it's a tight market out there at the moment with the costs of oil and everything going up to make plastics. And, you know, out of all the range they had, knowing what's going on, they all know, they all talk to each other and they know what sells and they know we're going to take a curveball and we don't care what the showrunner says about it's a lethal weapon and kids might impersonate and this is a show. That's all New Who getting it wrong, telling the actors to point it like a Harry Potter wand. That's their fault. But you can see John Pertwee there holding it like it's just got a sonic element to it and he's aiming it in that way, isn't he? That it just seems, look at him, he's aiming it that way. That's not a gun, for God's sake. And it just says to me that New Who actors, New Who directors, the New Who showrunner have just ballsed it up. And actually, the merchandisers and everybody are going, I'm sorry, we've had enough of this. We can't rely on your instinct. We can't trust your judgment. We're going to have to trust ours because we're not going to tank in the market. And you waltz off to another queer drama or something. Sorry, mate.
The thing I would say, I really hope one day that character or the BBC are able to sort of sort out the licensing because the Doctor Who movie with Paul McGann is under different licensing. That's the reason why we never had an official character options movie TARDIS, like Paul McGann movie TARDIS. I pray that someday they're able to come to some sort of licensing agreement and character finally bring out a movie TARDIS because they have practically made every other one at this point. Apart from actually, I want to see a Happiness Patrol TARDIS as well, which I hope happens.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's because it's so different. I also like oh, it's gone out of my head. The Web of Fear one. I'd love one with web all over it.
Yeah.
So see, I want an Ark in Space action figure with a ruin. You see, I remember in the 70s getting the Death Star, that cardboard Death Star. I know when I was away in Brisbane that in those noughties, they were starting to do some interior bits and bobs, weren't there? And I still, they should revisit that. But I was just picking up what Problem Being said regarding releases. What do you think of this? If I can flash it up. He says, re-release the 4th Doctor TARDIS and give us an 8th Doctor TARDIS. And give us the classic TARDISes with the correct roofs for Troughton, Pertwee, Baker that they gave the Ruth Doctor TARDIS. That's what the market's asking for. And I have to say, you'd be a mug not to give you your season 18, Tom Baker.
Yes.
And give Problem Being what he's just said there. I mean, although he is saying, can we have another maggot? Can we have one more maggot, please? 2 maggots to make it a bit more lethal. And a Bessie.
You know what? I don't think a Bessie will ever happen. That's one thing. I'm sitting there because obviously it just came out. I've been sitting watching season 7 all week, and like those early days of Pertwee, like Bessie's just as much a character as what the Brigadier, what Benton, you know. It would be nice to see it. I don't think it'll ever happen though, but I'm gonna hopefully 3D print one at some point, so I will get one way or another.
Yeah, keep him with Ryan. He might be just marketing it, and they want more monsters as well. So Problem Being is now just giving me his Christmas list. So, can I have everything from the past Doctor Who, please? I think Problem Being, I think we need therapy again. We probably need a detox, which I can't do this week. But
well, the thing is as well though, if they're going to be doing 5 exclusive releases this year, and as well, I have heard more B&M sets are going to be coming this year. That could almost, because we're already, in March, are we going to see a release basically nearly every other month at this point, or nearly every month?
Like us streamers, we are looking at beyond season 2 and our survival and what's out there because, and so I think
also the other thing to think about actually is one of these online online exclusive is going to be a new figure from season 2. That is possible.
A beep the meep from season 1.
Possibly, you know what, I can already tell you, I can already say now, I can bet any money what's going to be a figure is the Shooty Gatwa in his, like the blue suit that he's wearing in the finale.
Yeah.
In season 2. That's going to be a figure. I can guarantee it now.
Well, I'm certainly not going to subscribe to the when they're really desperate and they do the history of the Shooty costumes, and there's a range of 500 because he changes every minute. I won't want the kilt one. I won't want that one. I won't want the Cagoule one. I won't want that. If you get desperate, but then no. Oh, Hoomobile. A Hoomobile.
Yeah. Actually, funny enough, there was a guy recently online there. He's been making them. He's been 3D printing them, and I think he actually had access to the original prop. So he's actually done all the dimensions, and it looked really, really cool from what I remember.
So as I'm talking live, and if you catch this a bit later, everybody, it's £44.99 for a full-size Sonic, a small Sonic that obviously the John Pertwee model can use. You've got the giant maggot, and you've got the Crystal of Kronos, and it's now for sale. So get ordering.
Even though I've already ordered it, this is me asking you a question. I'm sure the audience would like to know, even though I've quickly ordered it, when's it getting sent out? Do they actually have stock?
I didn't say. Actually, they've been very good. When we've ordered the Mavellan one and everything, it almost comes a few days later. Normally,
yeah, that is true. Yeah.
Normally, I mean, they box it well, and it's got a good system. They seem to be kind of ready. It's almost like it's a little company, and they know that as soon as they press this button, the us lot will freak out and demand it by tea time, and they'll have little ladies there, little autons and everybody all ready to box them.
The thing I will say, though, they've actually, two things this time round. At least the website didn't crash this time like it usually does. So maybe they've updated their website slightly. Good on you, character. But no, I'm looking forward to see what's next. Hopefully, character are on the right track. They know what people want. They want new head sculpts. They want new accessories that already come out, but you can't get them anymore. We definitely need a re-release of an Ainley Master. Definitely.
Yeah.
We need Anthony. Come on, give us Anthony. Come on. We need it.
The audience is demanding it. Well, there you go. We had a little bonus show for you there. And if you haven't ordered, straight after this, get ordering fast, because you know what it's like. But as Ryan said, I've ordered 2 as well. I think Problem Beans ordered 2. I think Steve said he's ordered 2. The point is, I think 2's the limit, said Problem Bean, it seems to be. But the website worked, and I remember that blooming Mavellan one. I remember the Power of the Doctor one, and it was chaos.
Well, the good thing about this, if we as fans get behind this, I'm going to sound like a character options representative here. If we get behind this and support this and show character and BBC Worldwide, who manage the merchandise side of things, this is what we want. We get behind this and support this. Expect more things like this to come out from the classic era.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, then. Well, there you go. Good to see you. See you later, everybody. Bye for now.